Hi folks, Pete here from Ashton's Cars, and today I'm showing you around a 2017 BMW 116 diesel. This is the M Sport version, and it's the LCI model, which is the facelifted version of the second generation of BMW 1 Series. And this car's powered, it's a 116 diesel model, so it's powered by a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder turbo diesel engine, which produces 114 horsepower, and it's very much the baby of the range. But of course, being the M Sport model, it has got all the nice trim on it, all the things that we like on these cars. The deeper bumpers, you've got the side skirts, you've got some very nice 18-inch twin 5-spoke alloy wheels on this car. And of course it's finished in a metallic red, which I think really suits it. It makes it look sporty, and it's projecting a sporty image. It does. If you didn't know better, you'd think perhaps it was one of the bigger 135 models or 140s. And it's even got the mirror caps, which I think these have been put on by the previous owner on the car, which I think M140 mirror caps as well, which have been put on it. So it looks the part, but it's designed primarily as the economy model. But what a fantastic economy it's got. You're looking at 70 miles per gallon, claimed miles per gallon out of this car from BMW. I would say between sort of high 50s, maybe 60 to the gallon is more realistic in the real world. And you've got £35 a year tax, which basically with this as being a 17 plate, up until the 30th of March 2017, you get the cheaper tax. After that, the tax rules changed. This one just fits into that cheap tax bracket. You'll see at the back end, the LCI models of these have got the slightly different tail lights, which I think look better. The earlier models had the tail lights just on the outer edge of the car, whereas this one, they actually move onto the tailgate itself. So that's how one of the easiest ways of distinguishing an LCI model. But there are various other tweaks on the car. Something that BMW always do on every one of their range really is do a sort of mid-term facelift of the vehicle. So I've been driving this car, and I'm actually quite impressed with the way it goes. It's only 114 horsepower, but it does still feel like it packs quite a punch, because it's got a 3-cylinder diesel, which also packs a fair bit of torque on it. 270 newton meters, in fact, which is a lot for a car that weighs about 1,300 kilos. Anyway, moving on to the inside of the car. Being an M Sport, you get the nice sort of bucket sports seats on it. Always watch for wear on these bolsters, because it's very common for these to fall into the wrong hands, and if they're mistreated, that's what wears first. The dashboard, as you can see, is a really good layout. It's got a really nice aesthetic to this car inside, and pull the seat forward, and there's just as much room back here as there is in the 5-door model, so it's quite practical as well. The car's got the BMW 3-spoke sports steering wheel, which I think is a real beautiful looking wheel. The interior in this one's in very, very good condition. It's done 109,000 miles, but you certainly wouldn't think it. And starting off in the boot here, I'll show you through what you've got to offer in terms of accommodation, because we'll get back inside in a sec. Boot space on these is about the same, maybe a little bit smaller than a Ford Focus, but nevertheless it's a reasonable sized boot on this particular car. You're looking at 360 litres of luggage capacity there, and it's got a 30-70 split on those rear seats as well, which can be folded for a bit of added practicality. So plenty of room for a weekend away or a small family in there. And the wheels on this particular car, I really want to just focus on the condition of them. That is excellent. As you can see, it's quite surprising. A little bit of a mark there, but that'll polish out. Overall, the wheels are in very, very good condition. There's a little bit of a curb mark, I think, on this one. I'll just find that for you now. Obviously, it's always this one that gets the marks. It's the curb side front wheel, but that's about the worst of it. They are in very, very good nick for a car that's now 7 years old, and it's done 109,000 miles. The back one here, as you can see, they're on Bridgestone tyres as well, this car is, so it's got all the good signs of a car that's been well looked after by the previous owner, that's for sure. Moving back inside, again, check the bolsters on the seats, because if they have been sort of heavily used, they will start to wear, because they are you do naturally sort of scrape against them as you get in and out. But I like the sort of mix of aesthetics this car has inside, and we'll have a proper look at that in a sec. It's got some nice inserts, the black high gloss inserts in it, which really do look the part in them. But I think the combination of that M Sport pack and this bright red, which is a metallic red, really do make the most of this car. So here we are. I'll just jump in and show you what we've got to offer inside. It's a typical BMW interior. It's a push button start on them. Put your foot on the clutch and just press the button, and off she goes. And then we'll do the startup sequence. So hopefully you can see there's no lights on, and it's just having done 109,000 miles in total. Nice clear gauges, typically BMW, and all the better for it, really, because I personally think they're very, very good cars. This particular one has got a few options on it over the standard. The navigation on this car is a cost option on the BMW 116 diesel on the M Sport trim, and it's all the better for having it. It's a nice clear display. Sitting below that, then we have got the climate control, which is a single manual climate control system, which is very, very good. Have got the reverse camera on this one as well, which is good. It has got sensors at the back, but also a camera to aid you during tight spaces, so that's great. You can see that nice black high gloss trim. I'm a real fan of that, and it's got a really nice quality feel. It's got a nice bit of aluminium that runs beneath it as well. It does look the part. It does also feel the part. It's got a nice sort of aesthetic to it with the mix of materials that they've put in here. Again, more high gloss around the sort of center area here, around the iDrive system, and even going up onto the on the door trims here, you've got on your handles some more high gloss black. I think that looks a lot classier than the silver that they put in some of these cars. It would have been an option when the car was new to have that high gloss black fitted, and I think it's all the better for having it. We've got cruise control on the steering wheel and the speed limiter function on this car, which is a really nice one to have. Some of these 1 Series only have the speed limiter. This one's got the cruise and the speed limiter. I really do prefer having cruise control than a speed limiter on a car personally, so I would always try and go for one of these that's got the cruise if possible. Nice big cup holders in the middle here, and the fact that you've got the iDrive sort of system on it, which a lot of people will get used to by now, but you've also got these nice manual controls for the heating and ventilation, so it's easy to quickly just reach over and change the temperature and the direction of the airflow. That's nice. But the iDrive's here as well. That gets you a bit more in depth in some of the menus, and of course that all goes via the big screen, which also houses the navigation and the camera. I've got Bluetooth on here for my phone, and it's not just for calls, it also does media streaming. I've got a DAB stereo, and obviously it's easy enough to use the map functions as well from the iDrive. So it's got a relatively good level of tech, this particular car has. And it also has BMW's dynamic drive settings. So I've got a switch by here which can take me through various driver modes. So I've got Sport, which firms everything up, gives me a sort of razor sharp throttle response, steering response for the car. I've got the Comfort mode, which is the one I use most of the time, and then I've got this one, Eco Pro. In Eco Pro, it will cut down the output of the air conditioning and things like that to save some fuel. It'll also make that throttle less responsive, just to make your driving style, perhaps to encourage you to drive more economically. But Comfort is the one that I tend to find gives the best balance on the car. It's the default setting when you start the car up as well. And yeah, it's a very easy, comfortable car to drive. Certainly never feels lacking in power, this, even though it's the smaller engine. I'm very, very impressed with this 3-cylinder engine. I didn't think that I would necessarily like the fact it was a 3-cylinder, but it actually sounds nicer than the 4-cylinder model. It's a smoother idle on it. It's done very well, and it actually has a nice sort of noise to it when you accelerate, which you don't get in the 4-cylinder. It does feel a little bit more special. But yeah, overall, what a pretty car, and it doesn't look like a car that you would buy to save fuel in and save money, but it is a car that will absolutely be so cheap to run. Just £35 a year to tax. The fuel consumption, which is just off the scale. And you've got all those nice, cool M Sport enhancements on it, the nice deep front spoilers. It's also, this one got the sort of angel eye sort of headlights, which have got the LEDs in them, which light up. They look really good. You can see the LEDs there. It's not lit up at the minute, but because it's not started. But if with that all lit up, it does look the part. It's just such a pretty car, and there's very few vehicles really that compare with this in terms of the sort of bang you get for your buck in terms of the looks and everything else. If you're looking for one, obviously, yes, this one is available. We have got it available for sale at the minute. I'm happy for you to give us a call if you're interested on 07932 873 646. I'll pop that number up on the screen in a sec. Please, as well, be aware that we're happy to deliver this car to you anywhere in the UK, so let us know where you are, we'll do that, and we're happy to take Part X. In the meantime, give us a like, share, subscribe, and thanks ever so much for watching.